Now, today, the Constitutional Court will decide whether a national state of disaster is the same as a state of emergency. The Democratic Alliance is challenging Section 27 of the Disaster Management Act, arguing it gives the Minister of Cooperative Governance and Traditional Affairs, that's the CoGTA Minister, sweeping powers to declare and extend a national state of disaster and to issue far-reaching regulations without parliamentary oversight. Now, the DA says those powers are broad and create the risk of a de facto state of emergency, opening the door to abuse, corruption, and even economic harm. Veronica Makhoali joins us now live from Constitution Hill. Perhaps we can just talk about, Veronica, where exactly this stems from, considering that we've had so many conversations around a state of emergency, but also at the same time, a state of disaster in the country.
That's right, Arabile. In fact, what we're expecting today is a landmark judgment, if you will. And essentially what the Democratic Alliance wants the Apex Court to do is to declare Section 27 of the Disaster Management Act unconstitutional, or at the very least ensure and require that when a declaration is declared, as well as its regulations, that it's tabled before Parliament for oversight. While ultimately we understand that to Section 27 of the Disaster Management Act actually gives the CoGTA Minister the right, if you will, to declare a state of disaster, a national state of disaster. Once this declaration is made, the CoGTA Minister then has the ability to make wide-ranging regulations as well as implementations, as we saw during the COVID-19 pandemic, from closing down borders and, of course, stopping certain industries from operating, even confining citizens to their homes. And this is actually where it stems from, Arabile. You would remember that during the COVID-19 pandemic, it was not just political parties, but certain industries that took and dragged government to court in and out over those certain regulations. Well, what the DA submitted before the Court is simply to say there is just too much power in the hands of one minister. This, of course, being the Minister of CoGTA, and saying that Section 27 will also ultimately allow government in some way, effectively, to run the country under that declaration as a state of emergency, saying this is done essentially without the safeguards and the oversight of Parliament. And so the DA not raising issues, particularly with the CoGTA Minister, as well as others who, of course, been placed in this application, but raising issue with Section 27 itself, saying that there needs to be a regulation shift and that oversight is absolutely important and that Parliament must have a say. Otherwise, ultimately, what is happening is that there is, according to the DA, just too much regulatory power in the hands of one minister, in the hands of government, without the say of citizens ultimately, because Parliament is the voice of citizens, Arabile.
Yeah, so some clarity certainly needed when it comes to this one, Veronica, and that's what we're hoping for as the Constitutional Court gives that judgment. Just in a couple of minutes' time, in fact, is the anticipation here. Veronica Makhoali following that story for us out of the Constitutional Court.